Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday morning, Sunday mornings with the angels. And how are you all feeling this morning? I must admit, I woke up feeling a little bit bruised, maybe a little bit fluey, and also a little bit, maybe just still a little bit tired. And it's always good to, when you feel like this, a little bit bruised, a little bit tired, a little bit fatigued, glad it's Sunday. Isn't it wonderful to be able to move into a space where you can just feel better, where you can just raise your vibration again? So I want to invite those that's also maybe feeling a little bit bruised, whether it be on a physical level, whether it be on an emotional level, whether it be on a spiritual level. Join me in working with bruised. Let's love feeling bruised, and let's move it into a space of love and kindness. Morning, Maurice. Also an under the weather feeling. Yeah, I can't really figure out yet whether mine is flu or just being tired or just wanting time out. Hello, Megan. How are you? Nice to see you here. Good morning, Sharon. Oh, it's good to see you here with us again. And so, this morning, whilst I was preparing, I was really so thankful for feeling bruised together with you this morning, because it's good to be in a space together where you know there is a community of love, where you know that this experience that you're having, this vibration that you are receiving, that you are feeling, you are in, you know what's the best thing about it all is that you don't have to be stuck with it. That's the best part. The second part is it always brings you back to love. It always brings you closer to that feeling of loving kindness. And so this morning, as we reflect on loving yourself, I want to share with you that you can love yourself through the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so we hear a lot about loving yourself these days, and we hear a lot about be kind to yourself and take time for yourself and do what you love and honor yourself and respect yourself. And that is so important for you to move into a place of loving yourself. The best part, and I think the part that we sometimes forget, is we tend to separate the loving yourself from the times that we maybe need to take responsibility for something. We tend to feel more comfortable with loving ourselves when it's comfortable, when it's an easy thing to do. But be reminded this morning to also love yourself through those times where you have experienced a learning, through those times where you have to face your fears, through those times when maybe perhaps you felt rejected. Perhaps love yourself through those times where you realize, I now have to take responsibility for myself. I have to now taking the responsibility part, taking that part that I feel I may have to shift or work on. And when you do that, love yourself through that. You know, so many times when we feel we have to work on something, or we have to shift something, or we have to change something, then we almost like do that with more of a judgmental vibration, and more of a, oh, when I take responsibility, it's kind of like a different vibration. That's not love. Love is for the fuzzy and the nice. And you will experience love on a completely different level. if you take that teacher part within you, if you take that parent part within you, if you take that judgmental, critical part within you, and you say, boots and all, I love you. I love the lesson, even though it feels uncomfortable. I love the journey, even though I know there's work ahead for me. I love the unknown space that I'm in because I know it's leading me to somewhere. And I want to remind you to, in the week ahead, to love yourself through the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, sometimes we move into introspection, and there's this little voice inside of us that we kind of like sometimes avoid because we know what it's going to tell us, right? And so we keep that little voice away from us sometimes because we just either don't feel like facing the demons, or we just feel a little bit maybe unsure and unknown, and it feels too big for us. The task ahead feels too big. And we're wondering what would happen if whatever lies ahead of you, if you would tackle it with love, if you would love yourself through others. For me, the amazing part is that it helps you to see your life through the eyes of love. It helps you to extend that gift to another. And so when you learn to be kinder on yourself, then it automatically flows to someone else, and your journey and your learning and your love can become a beacon for someone else. Yes. And so really move into that space. Maybe slow down a little bit this week. I know that there's a lot on the to-do list. I know that it's a lot of people are feeling the pressure because we're moving towards the end of the year, and already it's this build-up of get this done, and maybe there's not enough time, and you know, we preempt so many things that may or may not happen, and then we plan our lives in accordance with that. And so how about we stop preempting and we move into a space of being here in this moment, just for now. Now is the only time I have. And if now is the only time I have, and I add a little bit of love, I'm wondering how the outcome will show up for me. Isn't that a beautiful intention to move with in the week ahead? To really move with love. And yes, self-love is about nurturing you and being kind on you and speaking gentler on you. Self-love is also saying, no matter what you go through, no matter what you have to face, I still love you through it all. I still love the situation. I still love my life. I still love the supportive people in my space. And even though I feel bad about this that happened, even though perhaps maybe I'm experiencing guilt or regret, I'll take that. I'll take that. But I'm not taking it without love. I'm not taking it without love. So don't try and fix everything at once. Don't try and do so much healing that you forget about the love part, loving yourself through that. And sometimes if you use this reflection, this slowing down, this just being where you are in this moment, and just stepping back and observing it, and as you're observing, you sprinkle love, you sprinkle love, you sprinkle love. Most of the time, there is nothing to heal. There is only a shift to experience, an awakening, a different realization. Move with that intention in the week to come. Don't preempt stuff that's going to cause you anxiety and fear. preempt stuff that's going to move you into a space of trusting the process, of surrendering to love. Preempt faith. I wonder what will happen if we in our lives preempt the faith part and focusing on the outcome that we are calling in, as opposed to what is the worst that can happen. Aren't we so used to doing that at times? So I'm sending you love. And isn't it amazing that this morning we can take the hand of however we are feeling and not judge it and not saying, I shouldn't feel this way, I have to turn it around immediately, but actually work through it and loving ourselves through it and asking for help and sharing in a community and loving ourselves through whatever we are feeling, and before you know it, you're feeling better. So for those that shared with me, are you feeling better? Are you feeling loved? Are you feeling the support of a community? Are you feeling that there's hope and there's trust and there's faith, and you can surrender to where you are now? You can trust the process because everything is always working out for you, and that you are this beautiful human being experiencing amazing vibrations that allows you to shift, to heal, to focus, to grow, and to love. Most importantly, to get us back to unconditional love. So let's see who's all here. Hello, Cheryl. How are you? Welcome. Hi, Danielle. Megan, lots of past memories feeling this morning. And Megan, I hope they are good for you. The most amazing thing when you recall, Megan, recall the good times. When you recall all the times that you felt you've overcome something. I love to recall past miracles in my life because it just makes me feel so excited for the next one to come. And it is true that sometimes we recall things that we may regret, or we recall the not so good experiences. And so if you do recall those, recall them, let them move through you. But most important, remember how you felt when it was done. Remember how you felt as you moved through it and you moved into that point of divine understanding. Let that memory stay with you the longest. And then you can move it into gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. It's so amazing that we see all the hidden blessings afterwards. And sometimes we always say, well, why can't I see it when I'm in it? Why can't I see it when I'm in it? Well, the point is to see it afterwards, so that you can reflect on the full story, not the half a story. And so that can move you into a place of immense gratitude and love. Love for everybody that went through that experience with you, and love for yourself for dealing with it so well, for dealing with it with all the knowledge and wisdom you had at that time. And even more importantly, is to bestow love and forgiveness and grace and mercy upon yourself and everybody involved in that situation. That's where true healing and shifts come from. Love, grace, mercy, forgiveness, compassion. Daryl, nice to see you here. Anna Marie, still in bed. Oh, that's lovely. I battled to get out of bed this morning, and I'll most probably go back and have another nap now. Isn't it great that we can just show up here, share some connection, and then go nap again? Thank you for your love, Danielle. Philippa, thank you much for being here. We're going to move into the messages with Archangel Gabriel this morning. Did you know that if you need encouragement and motivation, if you would want to know what your next step is, if you want to know a little bit of a glimpse about perhaps what you can do for inspiration, for advertising, for marketing, ask Archangel Gabriel. Yes? Thank you, Daryl. Hello, Kenneth. Hello, Linda. Thank you for being here from a very warm London. Thank you for being here. Oh, Rosania, thank you for being here. Hello, Christy. I think I am saying hello to everybody here. Yes? Okay, so let's do cards from Archangel Gabriel. Shall we do that? And we will ask for our cards for the week to support us through this journey of loving ourselves through the good, the bad, and the ugly. As we trust the process of life and as we surrender to what is. If you are battling to surrender to what is, use a little bit of mercy. Use a little bit of grace. Use a little bit of compassion. And use a little bit of forgiveness. And that will help you to surrender. So for those that always feel that they're battling to surrender a little bit, those are the components or the ingredients to help you to shift through that. And so let's hear from Archangel Gabriel for our messages for the week ahead, apart from the beautiful supported guidance that we already received from our hearts being connected. Recognition. So, for the beginning of this week, recognize yourself. Move into a place where you recognize how far you've come, where you recognize those around you. How many times do we reflect on what's wrong with other people, what we're battling with? We always seem to reflect on what's wrong and never on what's right. We always reflect on what we need to fix within ourselves or what other people need to fix. Let us turn that around a bit, and in the beginning of the week, just why don't we compliment each other? Why don't we recognize each other? The wording on this card says, you and your accomplishments are receiving appreciation and honors. Wow. Are you bestowing appreciation and honor upon yourself for who you are, for who you have become, for what you bring to this world, and most importantly, to the family and the loved ones in your space? Do you compliment each other? Do you give recognition and complimenting your children, your loved ones, the work that you do, your colleagues, your clients? Yes? How amazing is that? So recognize yourself and say thank you to yourself and say thank you to the people around you. What a great way to start the week, and loving and moving into that loving yourself energy. New project. Who here that's still listening are starting a new project, or perhaps maybe pondering a new project? Like a newborn baby, your actions are growing your idea into reality. So move into excitement and anticipation for the new project. Take the actions today that you feel is required just for that next step. Don't try and fix it all at once. Don't try and tackle it. But it would be a good week for you to either initiate or to take the next step or another action towards that project. And if you feel that you lack a little bit of creativity, I did post a beautiful prayer on my blog last week that you can use to just open up that. But you know what's the starting point of all new projects? Here's the secret. Saying yes. Saying yes to that new project. And so sometimes we ponder the project, we analyze it over and over again, we do a pros and cons, we do a success versus failure, we do a feasibility study, but most of all we doubt it, we don't know whether it's going to work. and we do all of that. But how about just saying yes to it? Yes to any new venture, to any new project is the signal for the universe to put everything in motion that was already planned because you said yes. And prosperity towards the end of the week. Who's saying yes to prosperity? I'm sure we all are. Your actions have resulted in incoming abundance. What a beautiful week for us to move into surrendering, to really love ourselves through the good and the bad and the ugly, no matter what happens, no matter if we have to take the role of teacher or parent or child. Love yourself through that. And then you work, do your daily work, focus on the next project, show up where you are with what you're doing. Say yes to those ideas and initiatives that keep on pouring through your crown. Say yes to those. And faith and trust. Keep your faith and your trust in the incoming abundance. You want to keep your thoughts on the positive outcomes. You want to keep your thoughts on the recognition, on the rewards, on the abundance. And that will then just flow to you because you said yes and you are open to it. So move into that space where you just allow yourself to be prosperous. Allow yourself to be prosperous in thought, in action, in receiving. How amazing is that? These are our messages for the week ahead, and I'm wishing you all just a pouring in of abundance. I wish for you that all your projects you are working out turns out successful, turns out beautifully for you. I wish for you all that you receive so much love and reward in serving, in purpose, in doing what you love, in being at work, in being with friendships. I just wish you all so much happiness. Have a beautiful Sunday and feel better. Lots of love, everybody. Bye.